It's Sunday, January 28th, 2018. Welcome, friends. Grab yourself a plate, saunter over to the buffet of chat, and then come join me for Sunday Smorgasbord, which is, of course, the Sunday show that I do. I'm going to talk a little bit about how the channel went for the week, see if I managed to stick to the schedule for the first week that I decided to do this, and then a couple little numbers here and there. First, we're going to talk. Because Sunday Smorgasbord is basically I get to talk about whatever I just decide I want to talk about. And I have a small topic that I wanted to say. Didn't really want to do a full video on it. It has to do with Lonzo Ball and his health. Lonzo is a good young player. He's averaging about 11 points, 10 rebounds, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Good for a rookie. And he seems to be more of a pure point guard, not a shooting point guard, which is fine. The NBA used to have tons of pure point guards whose job it was just to facilitate the ball. But my main worry for Lonzo is his health. The Lakers have played 48 games, and so far he's missed 12. So he's missed 1/4 of his games. Now they say that this injury is a minor MCL sprain, is what it's rumored to be. Nothing a big deal, and they don't seem to be trying to rush him back. And of course, they're not trying to rush him back because right now the Lakers have won, I think, 8 of their last 10 and 4 in a row. So the Lakers are playing pretty good ball. So all that stuff LeVar kept kind of mouthing off about maybe Luke Walton not knowing how to coach. Maybe it's still that this young Lakers team is still trying to find its groove. There is a lot of good young players on that team with Kuzma, Ingram, and Ball. There is a lot of young talent there, and this is a team that in the future could be a great team. They really could, if Kuzma and Ingram progress a little bit more and get more consistently on the good side, and Lonzo, of course, I think will get better. You could see a very good young core of a team for years to come. Now, how good they will be, only time will tell. But that Lakers team might be built correctly. And I think Luke Walton is a good coach. I think Luke Walton might be the perfect coach for that team. But it doesn't always work out the way you think. I mean, remember, Michael Jordan didn't start winning championships until they swapped out Doug Collins for Phil Jackson. Doug Collins is a very good NBA coach. He just didn't fit with Michael Jordan. He just couldn't get the best out of him. He just didn't know what to say to him, how to get him to really buy into his thing. Phil Jackson knew what to say to Michael Jordan, knew how to get him to buy into his philosophy, and the sky was the limit after that. 6 championships in 8 years, and it would have been, I almost guarantee it would have been 8 out of 8 if Michael didn't play baseball for a couple of years in between it. It's the same with when Shaq and Kobe finally merged up. Del Harris was the coach initially, but he got let go because he really couldn't control Kobe or Shaq. Phil Jackson, once again, seems to be the same guy, comes in and basically, because I don't think Phil Jackson is the greatest coach ever, but he is the greatest sports psychologist ever. He knows what to say, when to say it, and how to say it to these, mega millionaires with these mega egos, and get them to play really well together. So it is right now. I don't know if Luke Walton will be there. He might not be the guy that coaches this team to a dynasty. It could very well end up being somebody else in the end. But I think Luke Walton has a chance to be a great NBA coach, and I think this young team gets better. If they do draw Paul George in, they could have some veteran leadership to go with Kuzma and Ingram and Lonzo Ball, and that bolsters them a little bit more. Not to mention, Paul George seems like he really wants to be there, although there is talk he might stay for one more year in Oklahoma City. He's saying all the right things, but you never know. Once that off season hits and everybody starts going and getting to him and saying, hey, you can now come play in LA with us and you can go home again. So, but, this is supposed to be more about Lonzo. He's missed 12 out of 48 games. That's 1/4 of the season. Now, they don't really have a timetable on when he's coming back. So the chances are he's going to miss more games. So is that worrying to us as fans, thinking that maybe Lonzo could be one of these players that has injury problems? Now it is just his first season in the NBA. I don't think he had a lot of injury problems in college. And this is about the time rookies start to hit that rookie wall, because now they're getting to that around that 50th game of the season, and that's way longer than you play. Even if you go all the way through the NCAA tournament, you're playing more games in the NBA in that 50 games of regular season than you played, in your regular season, your conference schedule, and then even if you win the tournament, you don't play 50 games usually. It's more along the lines of about 40 to 45, somewhere there, depending on how big your schedule is before you do the conference schedule. So Lonzo might be hitting the rookie wall a little bit. Maybe his body is just trying to still get used to being in the NBA. I'd probably say Lonzo will be fine. He doesn't have an injury history that's a major. Everybody gets little bumps and bruises and has some, minor issues. But I think Lonzo will. If he plays the rest of the season, and he only misses maybe 12 to 15 games total, in the NBA that doesn't seem to be a big deal. So I would say that as long as he can stay healthy the rest of the season for the most part, but if he misses 20 to 25 games and that becomes a thing every year, that starts to become tougher, because now you only can count on him for 3/4 of the season. Man, that's a lot of games to miss if you're a really good player. If you're a role player and you miss 3/4 or 1/4 of the season, it's not that big of a deal. If you are one of the stars, missing that much time is not usually going to help your team very much. Now, they're playing well without him right now, but that's probably, this team would be better if it had Lonzo than without Lonzo. So imagine how well they'd be playing probably with him instead of without him. So I'm not looking at this. Some people may say, well, look how well they're playing now without him. Well, that's not the case. Remember, with the first time Lonzo was out, I think they went 0-9. They were 0-9 without Lonzo the first time he was injured, or 0-8, something like that. They had lost a ton of games in a row without him. Maybe they're just learning how to play without him for when they don't have him, but they were winning games with him and without him. So I'm not gonna tie Lonzo into any of this right now, because it seems to be inconsistent. But it's a little on the worrying side that he's already missed a fourth of the season. He's hitting the rookie wall that'll around that game 50 mark. So will he be a little bit less than what he's been? He did seem to be getting better, but is he going to hit that rookie wall and get worse? I watched a guy here by the name of Dikembe Mutombo. His first 50 games, he was phenomenal. He was doing everything right. And then about that 50 to 55 game mark, you could tell he was tired. That's another 30, he still had another 30 games-ish that he had to play that he wasn't used to playing in college. And you could tell it was just wearing on him, and he wasn't the same player he was in the first half of the season. So I've seen the rookie wall happen to some players, and great players. So if it happens to Lonzo, it's no big deal. It's not going to mean he's a bust. It just means that he's just wearing down a little bit. So with all that being said, we'll move on to the next topic. I don't worry about Lonzo. I'm not going to worry about Lonzo just yet. It's just kind of one of those things that it was bugging me a little bit, because I saw he wasn't playing again today, and I'm going, this is going to be his 13th game missed out of and this is their 49th game they're playing. So little bit of worth mentioning maybe, but not such a bad thing. So let's talk about, did I manage to stay with my schedule? Last week, I did the channel schedule to say basically what I was going to do. Monday sports, Tuesday nostalgia, blah, 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 all the way down to Saturday being where I did my 10s. So I did. I made it through the whole week. I did the whole schedule. So that was pretty cool. I was pretty happy that I made it through. I released 8 videos. Like I said, if I find something I want to talk about randomly, I'm going to put it on the channel anyway. And so I released 8 videos, got a whopping 14 views. Still have my 3 subscribers and 14 views on 8 videos. So that's not even 2 a video. I'm not doing real good. If I was in the NBA, I'd be averaging less than a point a game. This is terrible. Or less than 2 points a game. Whatever. But yeah, so I've got 14 views and 8 videos this week. But I did stick to the schedule. So I'm proud of myself. This is Sunday Smorgasbord. I'm releasing this today. So that's I'm still sticking to the schedule. You got to keep doing it. YouTube's a gigantic place. To get discovered takes maybe forever. You may never get discovered. I may never, ever, ever get, the maximum subscribers I may ever get to is 3. And may be it. I mean, because I've never had higher than 3, so 3 may be that may be the maximum amount of subscribers I'm ever going to get. So I hope not. I'm hoping I can put like a lot of zeros behind that 3 and really get a lot of them someday, a lot of subscribers someday, but whatever. Just keep plugging along and see what happens. So with all that being said, to the troops, past, present, and future, thanks for the freedom.